This video is a review of Chapter 10 and its work. We'll begin with the work. This is the module. Of course, you'll begin hopefully with this video and then move on to a short video. It's about 9 minutes long of an interview of sorts with Peter Singer, who is one of your essayists in this chapter. So more on him to come soon. But he is walking down the street, Fifth Avenue in New York City, talking about his signature ideas on utilitarianism and the altruism that goes along with it, along with animal rights issues. Then after that, or as you have been reading, there are two pieces of work. The discussion board this week is on Singer. You have your choice of responding to either number 2 or number 4 at the top of page 433. I have typed out those prompts right here. So again, your choice on either one of these. And after your own post, you can reply to anyone, whether they did the same post or not. Again, the due dates are listed here next week. The essay quiz this week is on the article by Al Gore. You will note that I say here had asked under the list of articles to be read, to read all the articles. I say that Garvey's article can be helpful. It's not officially included in the work, so you can skip it if you want, but please do read the other 3. You'll see that the number 2 under Singer asks you to connect Cohen to it, which is the other article. The essay quiz coming out of Al Gore's article points you toward, again, this one, like others have, has the topic up front, so you can see it here. Please look at it, prepare before you open it, give you a chance to almost make the essay quiz like a Dropbox rather than a regular essay quiz. And again, also due a certain day next week. So that's the work. Let's bump over to the chapter. Begins with a reference to The Simpsons and the fictional character's experience with going vegetarian. So we do have a blending of animal rights and environmental ethics here. So they are certainly related, but they can also be fairly different topics. So talking about the legal and moral status of non-human animals, you get a brief breakdown of what a lot of countries have as their current position. You can see that we have right here, for example, the Animal Welfare Act dates back to 1970, but it does not cover the rats, mice, birds, reptiles, frogs, or animals raised for food. Again, interesting facts that can certainly prompt you to go further, find out more, but enough to go on to get yourself thinking about this topic for sure. And environmental ethics given a little bit less treatment here, but you can see here a couple of offshoots of regular environmental ethics: deep ecology, dating back to the 70s, and ecofeminism, roughly dating back to the 1980s. Again, we don't necessarily have readings on that, but certainly issues that are out there in contemporary society still. Talking about the philosophers, You can see the historical progression, Aristotle to Locke to Bacon to Kant. Obviously, we don't have any of these classic philosophers represented in our readings, but interestingly enough, they end this section with Charles Darwin, who most people don't realize rejected anthropocentrism and did not. Darwin was very much trying to balance himself the way scientists often do. He never dealt with human evolution till the end of his career. He had mostly dealt with evolution in general, and was very cautious about making presumptions or assuming that his theory could tell us anything extremely definitively about what other animals, etc. So if we bump down to climate change, global warming, we have Garvey's article, which again, Gore also is talking about it. So again, those articles can go hand in hand, but I'm pointing you most directly to Al Gore's article. Of interesting summary grouping of non-human animals and experiments done on them. Can also get the mind going. So to connect through the issues, you can see here that as I told you, Peter Singer is one of the more famous and infamous utilitarians of our time. He's around 80 years old right now. And has been at the forefront of animal and environmental rights and utilitarianism for roughly about 50 years. So, and he's still going strong. So we will see that. You also see the issue of rights, particularly in Cohen's article, where he argues against the notion that animals have rights. So this is clearly, to oppose Singer and his forcefulness on the issue. So moving to the articles, Animal Liberation, written in the 1970s, Peter Singer's most famous work. In an excerpt from it, the section called "All Animals Are Equal" from this work, the Animal Liberation. This date is again, they're calling it a classic. This date is a reprinting. The date of this publication is from the early 70s, I believe, around 1974. So very thorough, very covering many angles of Singer's position that animals deserve rights as much as humans. So you will see this many things to either agree or disagree with. Cohen, as stated, goes the opposite direction. Again, also a very thorough article. Garvey talking about climate change and how we should be taking it more seriously. This is from about a dozen years ago. You can see the date, so current, but also a lot has even happened since then on this issue. And then lastly, Gore, the former vice president, it has here testimony excerpted from a 2007 meeting on global warming and the climate crisis. Okay, well, this ends the chapters. We will have a some other work next week as well that I'll be announcing very soon, following up with another video on that coming out of earlier chapters. Let me know if you have any questions, and see you soon.